those. Who was at conference last year? Pretty much everybody, right? Julia spoke at conference last year, and as a lot of you know, that Julia's has been my personal growth coach, but also a coach for a lot of the business owners in the room as well when it comes down to helping our team, being our corporate team, connect them to the greater picture. So what I shared with you guys this morning, Em, could you please just flick through to Julia's slide and just miss a whole bunch of my other ones there because Mike chewed up my time, but not resentful, not resentful, is that the values, the vision, mission, and values that we went through this morning, Julia helped our corporate team, and well, Callistra and I sort of form that and introduce that to the corporate team to set it as a standard. And I think that this, from a team perspective, I have a different relationship with our corporate team than you do to your team. I get it, because they are employees, very different. But at the same time, if I don't continue to stimulate them in the right way and continue to grow from the right place and continue to focus on a bigger picture perspective, I will lose them to whether it be another company, or they might just simply keep turning up every day and quietly quit. We've heard that terminology, and not continue to try and strive or push towards something that is the greater vision of things. So I think that if we can put into play in each of our real estate offices something by way of a vision, a mission, and some values, and connect our agents to that, if you get a chance to put a new agent on, you get a chance to have them for a longer period of time in my eyes, and what do you get to do? Connect them to the values. Because there's one thing, I'm going to steal that back for 1 second, that Mike actually stole some of my thunder because I mentioned it to him at dinner. I'm so pissed I did. See, there's something I prepared. This was a slide, okay? So I get to claim it.
Look, you made the slides. I just want you to know.
So again, I know that we've spoken a little bit about the work that you guys have done with Julia, but the one thing I got on a text chain with the Ben girls the other night where I'm like, when's the last time you had somebody leave? Because I physically couldn't find it in the system because it's only been 3 years since we opened up Connect to the wider group, and I couldn't see an offboarding. I'm like, there's something wrong. The system's broken, for sure. But if you consider the correlation between them bringing Julia in, because they had Julia before me. They introduced me to Julia, and the work that she has done with them as an office, and I'll let you shed a little bit of light on what you've done with them and their team on a consistent basis in order to go through what you've done with them. But realistically, there's a 100% retention rate in 3 years there, guys. And this is a business that does over $10 million of GCI. Mm-hmm. That's a big business. And as much as we have businesses that are equally as big, there's something about your business that I would buy. Does that make sense? Like realize that. Thank you.
Hey, anything is for sale for the right price.
Thank you.
Have I taught you nothing?
Thank you, Shelley. But that's the thing, is that if you look at some of our other businesses and you look at what the success they have, it might be fleeting success. I think yours is on a bedrock that is very, very solid because you've put this work at the forefront of it. Julia?
Is that me?
Yep, hand over to you.
Okay. So we're introducing our partnership this year, which is really cool. Some of you said, I'm really excited that you get to speak this year. I don't. I didn't actually make the cut to be able to speak, so you're in luck. But what we are going to do today is we are going to actually share with you something that's been really exciting and something that honestly for the last 2 years that Ben and I have been working on behind the scenes. Only what you get to see today is an experience of what most people see when someone looks great. Is what you don't realize is that greatness behind the scenes is doing push-ups. They're doing the hard things when no one else is looking. And so when they're on the stage and it looks great and it looks nice, what you don't realize is what they were doing behind the scenes all along. So today we actually get to introduce you to a partnership between Ben, Harcourts North America, and my company, The Dream Factory & Co. And we're introducing what's called the Real Estate Mastermind. And what's interesting, 2 years ago when Ben started working with me, he came to me and he said when I was talking to a few of you out in the hallway, you said the exact same thing. And that is, what got me to where I am isn't going to take me to where I've never been. And he said, I am stuck. I'm aware enough to know that I'm stuck, but I'm not aware enough to know how to get unstuck. Right? How many of us know, like, I'm aware enough to know that I am where I am, and that's not bad, but I also know that I'm not aware enough to go where I've never gone. And that means I'm actually going to have a different approach. And I think for most of us, if we look around at the economy, or we look at the real estate market, or we look at the industry, we would say that we're at the precipice of change. True or true? Right? We're looking at a moment that I call our freedom moment, which is really just a choice, right? But what we're looking at is the market is changing, and I think that this conversation is really important because how many of us know that we all like the idea of change, but very few of us actually want to change, right? How many of us love the idea of growth, but then when you actually have to do the things that requires you to grow, you're like, maybe I'll just kind of stay in my zone of comfort. Right? But the greatest showman said it once, they've said it a million times, which is comfort is the enemy of progress, right? So today we're actually going to invite you into an opportunity to take your business and your life to the next level. And I have had the opportunity for the last 2 years to work behind the scenes with who I think is one of the most incredible leaders, Ben Brady, and his incredible wingman, Callista, and I have watched them do the hard things really well. And then I've also gotten to work with some of the top performing agents and business owners who are actually in this room, these two beautiful humans, Chad, the Ben girls, which I love that everybody calls you the Ben girls, right? My Ben girls, Lisa. I mean, I have worked with agents who behind the scenes have been doing the hard work that we all go, oh, it must be nice to have a good culture. Well, it's very different to look good versus be good, right? And so when I think that we're at the precipice of change in an industry, in a culture, what we have to recognize is that we're going to need different tools. And what's obvious to some is not always obvious to those who are now going to be required to change, and that means that our tools have to look different, right? So it's easy to say in real estate that anytime there's a boom, what happens? Everybody gets in, right? Let's make some money. Like everybody now knows someone that quit their job to get into real estate. Why? Because it's easy to make money. Then what happens in every bust? They all leave. Everybody leaves. Why? Why? Is it because it's harder? Is it because there's less money? Is it because there's less deals? Well, anyone who's been in real estate long enough has been trained to say that you can make money in any real estate market. True or true? Well, next year will tell me if you actually believe that to be true. It will tell us if you actually believe that to be true, because I believe that the future of real estate is actually going to be built on the shoulders of the people with the greatest conviction, period. So what this next year is going to ask all of us is, what do you believe? It's going to ask you, what do you believe? Are you connected to your fire? And do you actually believe that you can be successful in any real estate market? And so what I also would like to propose is that this year, and our training with what we're doing with Ben and this mastermind group, is not going to be another one of those skill set trainings. There's a million of those. Right? And I think that ultimately growth is less about skill set, it's more about mindset. It's more about mindset, and I can prove it to you, right? Because right now, any one of us can Google how to lose weight, how to make $1 million, how to grow a successful business, and what are we going to find? Pages and pages and pages of answers. Tons of how-to guides, tons of different conferences we could go to in real estate, and yet, statistically speaking, we are people who are still more anxious, depressed, getting divorced, and not as successful in business as we should be. Why? Because there's a difference between skill set and mindset. And so I believe the people who are going to be building the future of real estate are going to have the mindset to bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And I also believe that those who want to join us in this opportunity are going to be the few. Right? So here's what it's going to look like. This is actually going to be a 6-month program that you get to spend 2 times a month with me. Haha. So if you don't like me, I don't know what else to tell you. Okay. So what we're actually going to do, though, is we have developed a curriculum that we have actually walked any of these people through this process for the last, I would say, for me personally, I've walked people through this the last 6-7 years, but specifically in the last 3 years, my top clients have all been in real estate. And what we do is we're going to walk you through a curriculum that's going to help you think differently. Right? This isn't behavior modification. I'm not going to give you a different script. I'm not going to tell you a different market cycle. You guys know all of the tools, right? You know all of the hacks. I'm just wondering, do you have the mindset that's going to take you from where you are to where you're going to be? This is what we're going to offer you, is an opportunity to actually to get behind the scenes and to quote unquote do some push-ups. And not only are we going to ask you as the leader of your organization, we're actually going to give you the opportunity to extend this to the agents who are following you. So some of you are going, well, I don't know if this is for me, but maybe this is for my agents. Here, I don't think it can't not be for you, first and foremost. But this is also an opportunity for your agents, right? Because I think that this is going to be a time where not only do you need to be thinking differently, but they need to be thinking differently as well. This membership, it's going to give you 2 growth coaching sessions per month for 6 months. and it's going to walk you through the mindset tools to be successful. So we're actually going to be talking about mental tenacity and how to increase your mental conviction so that you can actually be successful and significant without burning out. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yes, thank you. Hallelujah. Yeah. We're also going to ensure that you have the practical tools to build a business and not just chase a buck. We're going to make sure that you really honestly have the emotional fortitude to make sure that you are building this business and connected to your own fire. So you know why this business, and why now. And if you don't believe me,
it was unfortunate timing when I did the testimonial video. Very unfortunate.
I mean, how many of you that you can't make this up? But if you don't believe me, listen to your leader. It's distracting.
What I needed out of that situation, I'd never ever focused on mindset. And all of a sudden, I hit this wall of skill set where there was just nothing. There was nothing I was learning from. There was nothing that I was evolving. It was just the same old stuff. The result wasn't enough, and it wasn't.
Okay, let's be honest. That's so distracting.
That
The
is so
mustache
bad.
is so distracting.
Tony,
Will you come up?
You didn't see me with that, Tony. You were like, what?
Will you come up for just a second, Ben? Because here's what I want to do. You know, there is a difference between understanding that we all need a good culture, and there is between actually knowing how to build a good culture. There's a difference between knowing that we have good process maps and strategic plans, and there's a difference in knowing why I'm building what I'm building. There's a difference in having a good mission and a good vision, and there's a difference between hiring the people who what's on your wall is in their heart. Right? And so that isn't a skill set. So instead of the Ben Brady with a mustache, this Ben Brady, will you just give a quick few minutes on why this program?
Well, I think that from a business owner's perspective, the thing that I really do believe is that this, as I said on the video with the mustache, is that it's not about skill set. Like, you can go to another Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry or whatever training. The agents are going to lack mental set coming into what we're coming in. There's no question about that. They already are, some of them are a mess when it comes to how little volume there is out there in the marketplace. And we will lose people if we don't give them the tools from a mental perspective in order to deal with what we're going to deal with or what we are dealing with in the real estate climate. If I was going to speak to you as business owners about this though, is that it changed the way I do this when I connected my team to what I was learning. Because I could hide away like the stuff that Julia and I went through to go down the path of, you know, more like this quote that sort of hit me was the fulfillment one, and I'll get it wrong, so you better say it.
That success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure.
Yeah, so like success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And the other part that we've had to do some push-ups around is high standards, no expectations. Because I thought that the harder I worked, yes, I should be paid more, I should be getting more, I should be, you know, getting another house, I should be buying another car and all those different things, when it just really didn't help. And I think that that's where we see a great deal of burnout from our people. Have you ever seen our agents disappear for months at an end? And we don't know why, and they might pick up the phone call, they'll make excuses about something that's happening in their personal life. I really think that they're quietly quitting behind the scenes and they don't have the skill set in order to dig their way out. I certainly didn't. I know that I needed to get better, you know, and I had to look to Julia in order to help me do that with the mental set. Because again, I'd use just pure, just gut to get to where I am. I needed something more in order to keep me going and to get us to where we want to go. So I think that from a business owner's perspective, it's great that the agents are going to be offered this. Julie's going to be offering this same thing to them tomorrow when we roll out our roadmap. But if you do it alongside them as a business owner, it holds you accountable. Like it did to me. Like now my team knows when I'm unhealthy and where I'm at, you know, and I need to correct myself because I've made them privy to the work that we've done. And I think that this is a really good play in the direction from a cultural foundation if you're looking for one. This is it, because the reason we're partnering with Julia, I don't know how to do it yet. There's no question about that. And I don't know if I ever will. It's an ongoing journey, and that's one of the parts here is that the saying of, I think it was a Jeep commercial, I don't know, but the journey is the destination. Like I think that that's something that I'm still getting very comfortable with, because I think that if I do this work, then I'll be all good and we'll be fine. But it's not it. But that's...
Sign up today is what he's trying to say. So here's what you're going to learn. Here's what's really great is that Ben and Callista believe so much wholeheartedly in this work that we have actually decided to pay for half of the first 50 agents that sign up for this. So we'll put it frank. We're actually going to give this opportunity for every single agent in all of Harcourts North America. So you got 1,500 people that are about ready to see this, and we have 50 spots. And what they said to me is that we believe in this enough that we're going to cover more than 50% of the monthly cost. So generally, this is $1,200 a month. That's how much you will pay for a mastermind group like this. When you sign up today or tomorrow for you or any of your agents, so you can get in there and sign up today and put in their name and their contact information, pay for it, have them pay you back. The Ben girls, I don't want to toot their horn, they paid for some of their agents to go through this work, and they said, pay us when you can. Pay us in your first deal. They actually put skin in the game because this works. So what we're going to have you do is you actually can go to that QR code, or you can go to mastermindwithjulia.com. It is also on these flyers here. 50 spots are available, and we will give the first 50 that discounted price. Again, it is a 6-month mastermind group, and it will teach you how to master your mind so you can master your life and get on top of this real estate market. Because here's what I also know to be true. As the world around us changes and the market will change, I believe that it's the people with the greatest conviction that are going to be the ones that aren't impacted and will actually thrive. Why? Because they don't need the world around them to give them something they already have. This is going to be your invitation to do the same. So I'll be out here all day today and tomorrow to answer any questions that you have, any of the semantics, get you signed up. Again, scan that QR code. If you have any other questions, don't ask Ben because he is a work in progress. Go ask the Ben girls. They are there. They are completed in their program. I'm just kidding. Okay, so again, I'm honored to be here. I believe wholeheartedly in this man's vision and inspiring a better way. And I think if you are a part of that vision this year of inspiring a better way, then this is something you want to join.
Let's hear it for Julia. Thank you. So guys, I think it's a great opportunity for you as business owners, but also for our agents that will get to know about it shortly. Julia is going to be outside if you want to speak to her. Now, we've got about 15 minutes until Evie is going to be on, folks. We're registering